afternoon, everybody. It's the Prophet here, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about the Mayweather free glove giveaway and announce our winners on air live. Here we go. Third place, Wante Fresh Cuts Beasley's the name that has been drawn. Now, what that means, and I'll explain it at the end. Second place will be Tyreek Brown. If I'm not mistaken, Mr. Beasley's from Indiana. Mr. Brown is from Europe, if I'm not mistaken. And our winner of the Floyd Mayweather free autographed glove giveaway is Christopher Stanley. I announced Christopher Walker earlier on Facebook, and that was a mistake. Christopher Stanley from South Boston, Virginia. That's right, Christopher Stanley from South Boston, Virginia. Now, what you have to do within 72 hours of right now, so I'm going to say on the 18th at 9 p.m., I'm going to go ahead and give the extra few minutes here. At 9 p.m., I need a message. Go to www.facebook.com/FightServeBoxingMMA. Leave the "and" part out, FightServeBoxingMMA, or Facebook.com/FightServeBoxingMMA. Leave me a message there, okay? You can also go to our Twitter page, @FightServe. That's with an E on the end, although I know our trademark does not have the E. With the E on the end on Twitter, I'm trying to get that changed still. It auto-corrected whenever I set up the account originally back in November. And you can leave a private message there, or you can even tweet it. Say, @FightServe. Notify me. I need notification from all three of y'all within the first 72 hours. What happens is, if Mr. Stanley doesn't notify, Tyreek Brown is now the winner of the glove. If he doesn't notify, then Wante Fresh Cuts Beasley is the winner of this glove. It is number 14 out of 25. It has a certificate of authenticity, which is an Everlast glove, is what it is. Okay? The Manny Pacquiao glove was given away to a Natasha Ankrum out of, I believe, Pittsburgh, right outside of Pittsburgh somewhere, Pennsylvania, up in that area. That one hasn't been announced yet, but she is the winner there. Second place was a gentleman from Colorado. Third place was a guy from Grand Rapids, Michigan. And I don't have all those names with me, but I did that episode earlier, live and on air. And everybody knows of our announcement about going to Sirius XM, but we're also getting ready to move to ESPN Radio, guys. Starting March the 5th, we are going to ESPN Radio, WJAW, The Jaw, out of Ohio. So I am relocating to Ohio, and it's right out of Cleveland. And WJAW, The Jaw, ESPN, or 6:30 a.m. It's 100.9 a.m. FM, and it's 6:30 a.m. WJAW, The Jaw Network, owned by Jaw Co. Incorporated, or Jaw Radio Stations or something. I can't exactly remember off the top of my head. Excuse me if I'm getting it wrong. To my future employer in ESPN and Disney, I'm sorry. That's set up, and it will be based locally, so Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Columbus, Toledo, I think Philadelphia will get it, Charleston, West Virginia, Huntington, West Virginia. There'll be several West Virginia markets gets it, Kentucky, Indiana, Michigan, several different markets will get the Fight Serve Boxing and MMA Hour. Plus, I'll also be co-hosting other radio topics and sports topics as well for them. But the podcast will continue, and the podcast will continue on Spreaker. It'll continue. I use Spreaker because they are my link to Facebook, and that's where I first started. And, you know, I ain't got a lot of followers and stuff here on Spreaker, but you go to Podbean or go to Pod Addicts or other places like that, and it's Buzzing and Buzzsprout and Audacity to podcast. I mean, I got several different hosting stations now, and it's really took off, and I owe some people some thanks for that. Caesar Throwback Rebus was the first guy to turn me on to Spreaker, so Thank you, Caesar. Dode, out of Philadelphia, him and Caesar had a show together. It was called Real Fight Talk. And I believe that podcast is still available. If you want to look it up, it's here on Spreaker, guys. Go check it out. Them guys know their boxing. They really do. But I owe a lot of thanks to them. And I'm getting ready to talk to Caesar and set some things straight. I want to talk to Dode, set some things straight. I want to talk to all y'all guys, set some things straight. But I've announced my 3 winners, and second and third place do get a prize. And even if Mr. Stanley contacts us within the 72 hours, like I said, Facebook, you can go to our Facebook page and leave a message. You can also go to our Twitter page and leave a message. Or you can call me, but over in the next 72 hours, my number is not going to be available at all times. I mean, tomorrow it's noon till 5 p.m. That's it. Then Monday, 8 a.m. to 6. So your 72 hours will pretty much be up. Nobody's getting my private line number, but you can call me at the office. If you call 762-383-5106. That's 762-383-5106. And that's Fight Serve Boxing and MMA. Or you can also email me at chrish@fightserveboxingandmma.com. That's chrish@fightserveboxingandmma.com. The name is changing. It's not going to be The Prophet no more. As I go to ESPN, it's going to KC Prophet. I don't know why. Although Mike Greenberg is the one that gave me the Prophet name for a prediction on the Tyson Fury fight. And I appreciate it. You know, I've done a couple call-ins there and stuff like that. And they've kind of opened the door for me. I knew Bubba, which is a producer through them, prior to this, but I knew I had a chance to get the radio gig with ESPN, but I didn't expect to. I didn't know. I just knew if I could get in there and talk to the right people, I could probably get it. And now I've had that opportunity to since get in there and talk to them people, and they've heard my podcasts and my predictions and stuff and different things like that, and they like the fact that I can go on all sports. You know, anybody that's followed me seen that I've done NCAA football. I did the national championship game breakdown. I've also done one live Monday night football game, which was Cleveland and Baltimore for BetUS.com, and that episode took off major because I was live in person. I flew up there last minute to do that episode, and it was awesome, man. That was totally awesome. The things this has turned me on to, this little podcasting venture has turned me on to, is amazing. The guys that I have met, the guys that I have interviewed, still on the podcast. You know, I'm going to interview a lot of guys on the Sirius show, the Sirius XM show that's getting ready to start. A lot of fighters. George St. Pierre's coming up. Conor McGregor coming up, and right after his fight against Dos Santos. Now that's kind of that has been agreed to, but I got a feeling that if he lost to Dos Santos, he's not going to be too excited about giving an interview. So I'm trying to lock in. I've talked to Coach Kavanaugh, and Coach Kavanaugh is going to come on prior to the fight, which is John Kavanaugh. We got Joel Diaz getting ready to come on here before long. You know, trainer for Ruslan Provodnikov. Our podcasts are sponsored by Flex Mitts. That's Flex Mitts. All right, which is it's a new product it's a new focus mitt product that invented by Matt Nussbaum and Fred Cassie, the heavyweight fighter. Okay, these things are state of the art, man, and they save your arms, they save your hands, and they are awesome. Check them out, guys. Flex Mitts, and if you need some, get in touch with me, and I'll tell you how to get them. You can call me during business hours at 762-383-5106. That's 762-383-5106. Now, the 800 number is getting ready to change and all that. That's why I'm giving out the local number. And you can also reach me at sales@FightServeBoxingandMMA.com. Our website right now, we become an official distributor for Grant. And for some reason, they listed it as a basketball coaching website at first. And it's still, until the new month starts, or to the whatever, I don't know, the 30th, I think, of January, it's still, when you pull up, it says basketball coaching, fight serve, boxing, and MMA. I'm like, I crossed the URL, it does, and I'm like, what in the hell? Where'd that come from? And I called them about it, and it's supposed to be straightened out here pretty quick. But you see basketball feeling something, and the guys are still building. But the grant page is up, the home page, and it says home with the profit, but that's got to change because it's KC Profit from now on. For ESPN, that's the name. Profit. The Profit is what Mike Greenberg gave me, and for some reason spelled it Profit, which means making money, profit. Not profit like foreseer, like he was calling me. I correctly predicted Jacobs on air and incorrectly predicted him on Twitter. I predicted it backwards on Twitter, and I did that because I wanted to do a CYA thing, I guess, basically, and because I honestly thought that fight could go either way, whoever landed the punch. 85 seconds blew my mind. I'm not going to lie. That just totally blew my mind. I wasn't expecting that. I did expect a finish from whoever won, for sure. But Jacobs knocking him out in 85 seconds especially after what Moore had done to Jacobs, kind of shocked me. I think Quinlan still is a much better boxer fighter than Sergio Moore. Nothing against Sergio Moore. God bless Vernon's soul. He did beat Vernon right before Vernon got murdered. And guys, yes, I was real good friends with Vernon. I got kindergarten pictures and all to prove all that. And my parents could tell you I was real good friends with Vernon when growing up. But the Paul thing, I know him, but I wasn't exactly everything that was talked about. But I will explain that to everybody, once we talk. But Caesar, I'm going to try to get a hold of you this afternoon. As soon as I get off the air, I got to make a phone call. I can hear you, Brian. I know how many minutes I got on this show, on this announcement. This announcement was supposed to be 10 minutes. And I'm getting ready to go over. Well, I am over. We're at almost 15 now. But guys, FlexMits, we're sponsored. This podcast is sponsored to you by FlexMits. It's also sponsored by Coca-Cola Bottling Company, as well as Fighting for Autism, guys. We're fighting for autism. We asked, if you're going to give to the kids, give to St. Jude's, give to the Autism Foundation, Fighting for Autism. Check them out, fightingforautism.com. We recently announced our awards through voting, through internet voting, through voting on Twitter, polls, from writers, everybody. We did a Gallup poll, and found out who our winners was. And Andrea KGB Lee, a Fight Serve product. She's a big fan. We're fans of Fight. She's a big Fight Serve. We promote her a little bit. We do a lot of promoting for her, and we love her. Andrea she's the bomb. Andrea KGB Lee, and she is not Russian, guys. I'm tired of hearing that, getting asked that question, and that means if I'm getting asked it, I know she's getting asked it a bunch. And me and her has talked on Twitter a couple times about it, laughed about it, but Andrea almost swept our female side of the awards non-major. She won Prospect of the Year, Female Fighter of the Year, and non-major, which kind of surprised me over Chrissy Cyborg, but she did win that event. Cage Side Submissions, that's at CSS Radio, and Rachel Blaze, they were MMA podcasts of the year. Boxing went to Team Left Jab. That's Team Left Jab. I told you I would announce Fighters of the Year tonight. We've already had our awards show one time, guys. I guess a lot of y'all missed it, but the live audience didn't, which is Big Dog, 6:80 a.m. That's 14:20 a.m., 16:80 a.m., and 95 out of Atlanta, 95 FM out of Atlanta. They didn't miss it. They got it because we got some call-ins during the award show, if I'm not mistaken. The professor was on with me, and I want y'all to check out the article. Go to